September 29, 1941. The city of Kyiv stands in ruins after Nazi Germany's invasion. But what happened over the next 2 days would echo through history as one of the most horrifying massacres of World War II. And for decades, the world stayed silent. Thousands of men, women, and children were led to a ravine, told they were being relocated. Instead, they were never seen again. This is the story of Babi Yar, a story buried for years, and one that still asks, how could humanity fall this low, and how did the world forget? Panoramic shot of Kyiv under German occupation. Smoke rises, citizens walking in fear. June 1941, Nazi Germany launches Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. Within months, German forces capture major cities, including Kyiv, the capital of Soviet Ukraine. Kyiv, once a vibrant center of culture and life, suddenly becomes a city under strict Nazi control. The occupying forces waste no time blaming Jews and Soviet partisans for every act of sabotage. On September 24, 1941, a series of explosions destroyed German headquarters in Kyiv, planted by retreating Soviet NKVD forces. But the Nazis use this as a pretext. Posters appear overnight. All Jews of Kyiv and surrounding areas must report with documents, money, and valuables at 8 a.m. on September 29th. No one knew where they were going. Many believed they were being resettled. Some hoped it meant work or relocation. But those who obeyed were walking straight into a trap. Crowds of civilians carrying suitcases walking along dusty roads, German soldiers shouting orders. At dawn on September 29th, thousands of Jewish families, the elderly, mothers with babies, even children, begin the march to a ravine called Babi Yar, just outside the city. German soldiers line the path. Ukrainian collaborators assist in herding the crowd. The sound of boots, crying children, and dogs fills the air. They reach the edge of the ravine. People are ordered to hand over documents, money, and jewelry, then to undress. Those who resist are beaten. Those who cry are silenced. Those who pray are shot first. Eyewitnesses later said the line of people stretched for miles. The terrified crowd could hear gunfire ahead, but by then it was too late to turn back. Inside the ravine, machine guns are already set up. The executions are organized with terrifying efficiency. Men are forced to lie face down, a single bullet to the back of the head. Then the next line steps forward. For 2 days, the killing continues. By the end of September 30th, 33,737 Jews had been murdered. Their bodies filled the ravine, layer upon layer, covered with dirt and sand. It became known as the Babi Yar massacre, one of the largest single massacres of Jews during the Holocaust. The ravine under snow, empty streets, Nazi propaganda footage. But the killing didn't stop there. Over the next 2 years, the ravine was used again for Roma people, Soviet prisoners of war, Ukrainian nationalists, and political dissidents. In total, more than 100,000 people were executed at Babi Yar between 1941 and 1943. And when the tide of war turned, the Nazis tried to erase the evidence. In 1943, as the Red Army approached, German units forced prisoners to exhume the bodies and burn them. Ash and bones filled the air. The witnesses were executed afterward. The ravine was filled with garbage, covered and hidden. When the Soviet forces liberated Kyiv, they found the ground itself telling the story, but the Soviet government refused to acknowledge it as a Jewish tragedy. For decades, no monument marked the site, no recognition of the victims' identities. Even speaking of Babi Yar was considered anti-Soviet. It was silence, political and moral, that lasted for years. Old typewriter typing verses, overlay of the ravine in autumn colors. Then, in 1961, a voice finally broke that silence. A young Soviet poet, Yevgeny Yevtushenko, published a poem titled Babi Yar. His words shook the Soviet Union. No monument stands over Babi Yar, a drop sheer as a crude gravestone. I am afraid. Today I am as old as the entire Jewish race itself. The poem exposed the truth and the hypocrisy of denying the massacre's Jewish victims. It sparked outrage and hope. Soon after, composer Dmitri Shostakovich transformed those words into music. His Symphony No. 13, Babi Yar. For the first time, the world heard the cry that had been buried for 20 years. It was no longer just a ravine. It was a symbol of remembrance and of conscience. Modern Kyiv memorials, survivors' interviews, candles in the night. In the decades that followed, historians and survivors continued to fight for recognition. When Ukraine gained independence in 1991, Babi Yar finally received official memorials honoring the Jewish victims. Today, visitors stand on quiet ground that once echoed with screams. The wind over the grass hides a terrible past. But questions remain, not just about what happened, but why. Why did neighbors turn on neighbors? Why did so many obey and so few resist? And how many other Babi Yars still lie unspoken across history? Babi Yar is not just a chapter in history, it's a warning. That silence can kill truth, that denial can bury memory, and that every generation must choose whether to remember or to forget. The ravine still stands, quiet, green, peaceful. But beneath that silence lies the echo of 33,771 voices asking the same question. If it happened once, could it happen again? Fade to black. Text on screen. In memory of the victims of Babi Yar, 1941.